Hey, what is up, guys? I'm here to give you another Walking Dead review. Um, I must say, the show's starting to grow on me. I started watching the show a couple weeks ago. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I am now. It gets better every episode that I've seen so far. Hasn't been a bad one yet. It's actually gotten better every time. So, next week, I can't wait to review it again. So, let's just talk about it. So, this episode was called Tell It to the Frog. Um, and it came out on November 14th, 2010. Um, this is season 1, episode 3, I should say. Starts out with Myrtle just trapped. He is still handcuffed on the roof. I like how they showed that. They showed what happened to him afterwards. Um, and he's just kind of going crazy, just talking to himself. I wonder if he was just crazy anyways. And a bunch of zombies start coming up. They're trying to break in through the door. Um, and Murdo's trying to grab the gun. And it just kind of goes right to the theme song. So we have to be left with the suspicion, assuming that we don't know what happened to him yet. And then we see all the gang that left Atlanta heading back to camp. And the wall back, we see Dale, and we see Eddie, and we see everybody there. Um, and Shane tells Carl he's going to teach him how to catch frogs. There's this certain method that you have to do, and then everybody pulls in and talks about the call that they got. They shut the alarm off the car because Glenn never shut the alarm off the car, and then everybody comes back. They have this big moment. Amanda, and I think that's her name, Amanda. I'm not sure. And Andrea have their reunion. Everybody just having the big family reunions. They're back, and they talk about that they had some help from a new guy. And we see that Rick, they now Lori and Carl know that Rick's alive, and they have this big reunion, this father-son moment. Wife return, and then we see later on that they talk about how he felt like that he was just disoriented, that he died. He feels like he's been reborn again, and that he feels like that he can help out now. He feels like that he could have been sent away. That's what could have happened to the patients. And then we see somebody, the neighbor, left the fire going, and Shane, I guess, is in a pissed off mood, obviously, because I think Rick's alive, and he just lost Boy pretty much, so he hasn't put the fire out. He's just in a really pissed mood. Um, then let me think. What I thought. And then in the tent, Rick is having his reunion with Carl. He talks about how him and his wife have this second chance now, and his wife Lori apologizes for all the bad stuff that happened before he died. She's shocked that he's alive, and Rick knew that they were alive because the album wasn't there, and then she shows the album, and then he puts the photo. I think it was like the last photo they took together before he got shot. Once we actually find out that he still has this bruise from it, the skull, and then Lori gives him back his wedding ring and just talks about how they have this second chance now. He ends up waking up and then Rick wakes up the next day, and is and he hears his son panicking. Well, yeah, at first he doesn't, but then eventually he does. We found out that a walker has made it up. They usually never go up as far as the mountain, but they did. One did, and one of them they just beat the crap out of him, and Dale just hits it with an axe, and then Dale says, "That was my deal. You guys just ruined my dinner." And he ends up shooting the zombie again with that arrow. And Dale was his brother, was Murdo's brother. So they talk about how Murdo would have gotten them all killed. He was leaving us behind. He was holding us back, so they had to chain him up on the roof. And they couldn't release him because he dropped his key down the drain. And then Rick says that he'll go back. He's gonna go back and get Myrtle. He feels like and his wife's like Shane and everybody's wondering why he's doing this. You just, after all the hell you had to go through to come back to find us, why would you do this? And he says he feels like he has to, that he feels like that if after what he's gone through, he feels like he needs to do this deed. He needs to and he wants to get the gun. Remember, like the sack of guns that he dropped. He wants those. So T-Dog's gonna go. Glenn, he asked Glenn to go, and Dale's gonna go. They're all gonna go back to Atlanta to get Myrtle, and then so then they all leave. They take Dale's bolt cutters, and he gets a gun in return, and they're gonna get like a van, and they're gonna get like all the gas and stuff from it. And then we see later on, I'm gonna talk about kind of this in one thing, that Shane and Carl are doing the flock catch thing like they talked about, and Lori, we see afterwards that Lori and Carl are in the tent, and Lori's a little concerned, that his husband that Rick could die, but Carl's not concerned because he survived getting shot, and he survived all those zombies, so he's smart enough to know that Rick is a superhero. He can survive anything, and it's true. He survived anything. And then so then later on, Shane and Carl are catching frogs. He's trying to learn from him, and then Lori just has Carl go back to camp, and Lori's pissed at Shane because he's the one that told her that her husband died, that Rick died, and she's really pissed at him for it. So she wants nothing to do with him. She wants him to leave her family alone, and he agrees. And then as we doing this, Eddie sees the girls doing laundry, and he doesn't think they're doing it right. He doesn't think that they were making jokes as they were doing it. He just thinks that he should be straight. They should be serious, and he tells his wife to get up to go with him to back to camp, and Andrea refuses, and then Eddie ends up hitting his wife because I guess he ends up abusing his wife. So they're all pissed at him, and then Shane just comes out and beats the absolute crap out of Eddie. Like he beat the crap out of him, and he says that if he ever puts his hand on him again, he'll beat him to death. And Shane's already pissed because he just lost the girl he can't have, and he lost Lori, and she got him pissed at. He got her pissed at him. So that's what happened with all that. And then we get to what happened with Rick when he goes into town. They took the construction van that they took back when they took it back, so they had to walk the rest of the way. They walked on train tracks, and they're gonna go after Myrtle first because he's closer, and then they're gonna get the guns afterwards. But when they open the door, we see that Myrtle isn't there. He ended up, and we see that he cut his hand off to get free from the handcuffs because I guess he was so afraid that the zombies were gonna get at him. And that's how the episode ended. Really good episode. I thought that maybe this was the best. I think this was the best one. I think I like what they did here with Myrtle. I like what they did with the Shane and Lori. I like what they did with everything in this episode. It was really good. That's really about it. I just can't wait to see what happens. When Rick finds out that Shane and Lori have been in a relationship together, what's going to happen with Myrtle, where he went, because he wasn't gone. How did he get out of there? Unless he climbed down the ladder or something, but he only had one arm. How did he do that? So, kind of like to see what happened with him, how Dale is going to react to his brother being gone, everything. So this show is starting to grow on me. I can't wait to see the next episode next week. But that's really all I have to say for this episode. Really good episode. So all I have to say is subscribe to this channel, and peace out.